How can bacteria and antibiotic resistance provide evidence for evolution, and how do we solve a problem like antibiotic resistance? Well, reminder, evolution is a process of a gradual change to a species over time, taking place due to a process of natural selection. And in that process of natural selection, we have the idea that one individual is better adapted and so is more likely to survive and reproduce. Well, if we've got a population of bacteria, there's going to be natural variation in that population. We might get a new bacterial cell that is resistant to a certain antibiotic. Let me know in the comments what might cause that bacteria to have a new gene that makes them resistant to an antibiotic. What happens is the antibiotic comes along and the antibiotic wipes out and kills all the other bacteria. But now only the red one is left. Now there's no competition, so the red bacteria, the one that is resistant to the antibiotic, will be able to reproduce very, very rapidly, and we'll end up with a whole population that are resistant to that antibiotic. This shows a process of evolution happening in real time. And because bacteria have such a short generation time, reproducing around every 20 minutes or so, it means that scientists can almost watch this process happening. Now, why is antibiotic resistance such a bad thing? Well, so many diseases are caused by bacteria, and antibiotics are one of our only defenses against those diseases, and one of our only ways to treat those diseases and prevent those bacterial diseases spreading even further. Now, scientists and doctors are really concerned about the rising problem of antibiotic resistance. One of the ways that we can help to prevent antibiotic resistance becoming more of an issue is through three main ways. The first one is doctors not prescribing antibiotics for diseases that aren't bacterial infections. So not prescribing antibiotics for measles, for example, which would be a viral disease. The other one is to completely finish the course of antibiotics. Now, some bacteria might be slightly more resistant than others. And if we completely finish the course of antibiotics, that means that all of the bacteria have been killed. If we don't finish the course of antibiotics, the ones that are left behind are going to be the ones that are slightly more resistant, which means that they survive, they reproduce, and what we end up with is a population that are more resistant than the original population. The other one is to reduce the use of antibiotics in other areas as well, such as agriculture. Antibiotics are quite commonly used in agriculture to prevent the spread of disease, and also it was discovered that using antibiotics can also increase growth rates in certain animals. But the problem is these antibiotics pass into the water systems or in the food that we then eat, which means that we are receiving a low dose of those antibiotics, which means that the more resistant bacteria are going to be surviving and reproducing because they are better adapted. So, antibiotic resistance, a serious problem that we need